Hi, I am Maralika, and it's been first time with Booknard's agency, author agency, where I'm hosting this session. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I just want to thank you, with our author agency, for a minute to giving me the opportunity to moderate this session with you. I'm really looking forward to it. So how are you doing?
I'm very good, and I'm also grateful to you guys for having me here. So I'm very excited as well. This is the first time I will be doing this. So,
Then we are in the same boat. So yeah. And thanks to you as well that you took some time and talking with us about your book. And I just finished that book last, and it was really surprising and so many emotions coming all together. One moment, the moment is like, oh, I understand. So it was very captivating. So just to brief the audience, today we are going to talk about the In Paradox by Prasad Aurangabadkar. To start off, I just want to know, or if you want to share, what was the inspiration behind this book, and what was your kickstart moment when you realized that okay, this is the moment I want to write this book.
yeah, so this actually goes back to the days when I was completing my engineering. Like I was in the final year of it, and coincidentally at that time we were also experiencing the early onset of coronavirus, right? And back then, I knew that I was fond of writing stuff. Most of the things which I had written before this used to be short snippets, and but I had never imagined myself seeing as an author or taking up such a voluminous work compared to my short snippets. And then after that, there was a complete lockdown, as we all know, and people were finding novel ideas to, keep their sanity. And I actually wanted to do something different back then. Like most of the stuff which people were doing, I was like, instead of that, I would do something which will be good for me or which would make me feel happy. And that's when I started this. Like, I got the idea, let's try to do this. And when I started this, I was like, I just wanted to write a book. That's it. I had never thought that it would get published and people would read it. So I started it for myself as a way to do something different. That's what inspired.
Oh, that's really nice. And oh, it's good that it go very long back and you come this far with the book being published and being with the audience there. So I see this is very sci-fi, scientific and thriller, and there are very what we say astrophysics there. So how did you realize that okay, this is my interest and this is where I want to put into, like, I want to pen down these things, the theories, and people usually stay away from science. They can the theory and everything, but you implemented all that in simple language. So what was her idea behind how you were able to approach it and achieve it?
So, like back in those days, I was actually very fascinated by this theories of theoretical physics, and actually, I was much more into stargazing back then. Like, I used to spend time looking at the sky, and I was fascinated by it. Like there are these cosmic events which we get to know. So some stars are going to align in certain pattern, and we could see that if we wake up early at night. And so I was the guy who used to do all these things, and this actually later translated to me exploring all these kinds of things on my own. Like if you have to learn it from the academic point of view, you will have to get into the research aspects of it. But I did it on a personal level, and I was actually very fascinated by it. So it was then I had the idea that I could write on it. And what actually led this was there was one fine day wherein I was sitting with my friends, and we usually talk about a lot of things. So on that day, I was telling them about all these things. It was just before the lockdown had started. So I was telling them about all those things कि ऐसा ऐसा होता है. All these things are there on paper. Like if you read the paper and all those things, physics papers, theoretical. And after that, they were actually fascinated by it. And like then it was then which I realized that they liked the way I narrated stuff. And then I was like, okay, if I want to write something, I will write about this. So yeah, that was the moment actually which took off.
Yeah. Wait. And the book was more about the legacies, how Akash was pick up the legacy his father had built, and then it was about the survival. So does it resonate somewhere personally to you?
Yeah, I mean, it does. When I was writing it, we were in the pandemic, and every one of us was trying to survive. And literally, we were trying to survive. Literally, the frontline workers were doing their jobs. We were doing our jobs by staying inside our houses. So that that feeling of survival was actually very palpable during those days, and I resonate with it completely given how humanity has evolved. So like I am an avid reader of history, and if you read the historical events like wars and all those things, the the catastrophes which humans have dealt with, and they have yet successfully survived. So that I resonated to some level with it, definitely. And then again, this part, like when I was writing it, this feeling was actually very palpable. It was happening all around me. So yeah, that part is definitely there. And for the legacy part, like you said, the Akash picks up his father's legacy and how he does what his father did. It is common everywhere, at least in India. Like we do it in our households. Like we look up to our fathers as our heroes. So yeah, I mean that is there everywhere.
Mm. And you did mention that you're an avid reader. So what's your favorite genre?
Yeah, I actually read. Most of the time, I spend reading history. I read finance. I read economics. I like to read about civilizations and cultures, and at times I also read Stoic philosophy.
It's great to hear. And so your book is mixture of many genres. First is mystery, then sci-fi, and then there is a little bit about history as well. And geographically, you have picked places among from India and from the outer world as well. So how difficult it? How did you manage to combine everything so that a book this good can come out?
So yeah, the research part was actually quite hectic, or I would say it was the most difficult thing for me. So like when I am imagining a galaxy and a planet there, and how the people on that planet would look like, all these things, and some theories which I have used in the book. Like there is this panspermia theory, which talks about how life on Earth could have evolved from uh, external universe. So I researched all these things, and like one example I can give. So the aliens which I have described in the book, the main biological aliens, those are heavy, they are bulky, and I still remember this when I was researching about it. Like if the gravitational intensity of a planet is more, then the way people there should evolve should also be heavy. So I went into all these details to get the things correct as much as I could. And yeah, that was the most difficult part, but I was able to do it at the to a very good extent.
I mean, it was somewhere connected to childhood where we on cartoons we used to see aliens and they had that bobbly head and they are different, like they have wide eyes, and I could read that in the book as well. So it was very interesting for me because this was the first time that I have ever read a sci-fi this heavy in the yet war. It was very cheered up and then and was that, but it was eventually good. There everything unfolds And coming to that fold part, how were you, like, how difficult it was or how enjoyable it was for you to unfold everything? Like, it's creating mystery is one thing, and then unfolding it, then really is another task. So, you have any comment on that?
Yeah, I think that was the most difficult part. So, I would like to tell you now that the virus part was not initially in the plot itself, and there were some characters as well who were not part of the plot. So, actually, I had two very close friends of mine. One of them was into all these things. He used to read all these theories. He was like me, I could say. And then there was this other guy who had a different background completely, and they were very close to me. So I have also mentioned them in my acknowledgements. So what I used to do after I used to write every chapter, I used to send them. He, from a perspective of a person who knows all these things, is it interesting or not? And for someone who is from a completely different background, and he, let's say, he starts reading it, intimidated by the content or not. So, so they used to tell me very frankly, he at this point it is better. At this point, you are messing up, and I used to implement that. And this one of my friend, he clearly told me very in very initial days, he after chapter 8, I specifically remember this. After chapter 8, I am getting bored, and that's when I implemented the idea of virus, and I bought in a different character. So I changed the plot again. So like I wanted to maintain a perfect point, I would say, or rather I call it a line of equilibrium, wherein it doesn't get extremely technical, and if you're reading it, it should also not be like this is not sci-fi. So that particular line I tried to maintain, and that for me was the most difficult part. So I took reviews from my very close friends, and then likewise I did it. And another thing which I wanted, that after every chapter ends, I wanted the reader to remain curious on what happens next. Like I had this in my mind. Ki after every chapter ended, the reader should wonder what happens next, and that was the most important thing for me, I feel.
Yeah. I can agree to that. That after reading every chapter, I was very curious. I was in this thing that, okay, what's going to happen next? And that makes a book very engaging. And it was so that was really good. And coming to the friends, and it is said that you keep your friends close, but you keep your critic even closer. And I thought if you have friends who are very critic and feeling like thinking good about you, and that's a blessing. So hats off your friends, Ravi. So overall, I know we did discuss that what was difficult and combining all the genres was difficult. But overall, do you think there was something else was challenging for you?
Yeah, I mean, putting all those things and relating all those things was difficult to me. Like as you said, I was able to create mysteries, but at times I was stuck at to the point where I did not know how to keep it going. Like I still remember there is a point in the book where there is war going on, and I want that to end for the story to move forward. Uh, but I remember I spent a lot of time there because I was not able to get that perfect thing. And yeah, so like as you said, finding solutions to those mysteries was a very difficult thing for me, because when I started writing this, I did not had a clear plot in my mind. कि ऐसा होगा फिर ऐसा होगा. I just had some abstract ideas and concepts, and I started like that. So yeah, that part is challenging as well. Apart from all the keeping it interesting and research.
Yeah, I can totally understand. By reading that book, it was like as a reader, it was very interesting. But if I think about the person who has written it, it was a whole different world because you have to incorporate everything and you need to.
I know.
So So one theme that you picked that was there in that book was the extinction, possible extinction, and the survival. And did that you wrote this book in the pandemic. So do you think there is some page you could hope that readers should um, take away from this book?
Yeah, I mean, it is quite clear that the events which are happening on the global level, if you follow the geopolitics, all the things which are happening, and I very firmly believe that conventional techniques for warfare have changed. Like if you read about the world wars, you would see a pattern of conflict which happens. But now it has gone crazy with all the technological advancements which have happened. And it is very difficult to anticipate what could come next. Like COVID happened, we do not know what is going to happen next. I just have one feeling that if we could remain united within ourselves, and we could respect our culture, and remain unified in every aspect, then there is a hope we could still tackle all these things like we dealt with COVID. We were able to do it because I feel that we were united to quite a lot of extent. But if that goes away in the near future, then it won't happen. So I actually feel this very personally, and I think maybe I could give that as a message as well.
Yeah. Right. Good. So, we do have the main characters, Akash and Cordelia, who was actually driving the story. Um, so how did you pen down the context of the relations and how he would not won't say it was easy, but how was it by creating legacy while penning down everything which Cordelia going to give to his son in that diary in a notebook. So, how was that experience for you?
So if I could talk about the character of Kautilya, like he is something which I like. I have my personal likings and my own biases, right? So every trait you see in Kautilya is somehow a reflection of my thoughts on how a person should be. Like everything's he did in the novel. Like there is also a mention of chess. So I was a chess player back in before I got into engineering, and all the traits which he has as my own personal reflection. And I think Kautilya is inspired from a normal person who goes to work every day, does his work very efficiently, and he is very ethical. He never cheats. And at times, we do not recognize such people. Like most of the people who are in the working class, many of them have these traits. So I think Kautilya is, to me, a reflection of all those hardworking people who are ethical, and who care for the country, because he is shown to be patriot to his bone. And yeah, I mean, that's how I created this character. And Akash is like in the Indian households, if you see the relation between a father and a son, it gets difficult after a point, because there are these two testosterone giants operating in the households. So it becomes difficult. Like the son always reflects a sense of you know reverence towards his father. He at times loves him, but the respect overshadows the love, at least in most of Indian households. So that's how the relation is. Right. Like there is also mention of this one story which Akash narrates, or he is in the introspection rather, when he was trying to take a stroll into his laboratory, and he was intimidated once his father scolded him. So, and then he also explains, like Kautilya explains, Akash, the work I do is very private. So, yeah, I mean, it is a reflection of everyday relation between a father and a son.
I do remember one area where it is like you mentioned at the kid is going around curious what my father is doing, and he is like he took instead of like he just not scolded a lot, but he took him to the terrace so that they could calm down and they share his thoughts. Uh, that was very good because usually in Indian household we have seen that a daughter and father relation is very good, very chirpy and all, but a son and father's relation is very sometimes very conservative. And it was really interesting to read that his father took an interest. He told him that, okay, at one point I will share it with you, but you need to respect a little boundary of that. So that was really interesting. And I could pinpoint that area in the book. And then the second mention that the chapter title, it was, if I'm saying it right, it was Alam Bata 60 Cook. Oh, yes. Now, I literally Googled first that what is it, and then I got to know that okay, this is you are a chess person, so that's why 64 and it's with Ganesha's name, Lord Ganesha's name. So it was really interesting, and the Pandora box and all the titles are very intriguing, and like it was some sort of mystery. Every time I'm reading a heading, okay, what's it going to be? So it was really interesting to read that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was very fascinating to read about galaxies because I had it just earlier, but I had this encyclopedia getting into the galaxy as a kid and everything. So you have introduced a different galaxy other from ours, Adam, with the Milky Way. So do you think that you are going to expand at some point and you're going to bring forward some other story about the galaxy and its inhabitants?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure yet, but I do have some ideas. Like I told you, the virus was not part of this book. I later introduced it. I had this idea of putting virus in a completely different story. And even then, there were going to be some extraterrestrial interference in the human lives. Uh, but yeah, let's see. I mean, I do have some themes in my mind. I might or I might not. I'm not sure about it yet.
Yeah. Sweet. So this was the question to trying to get an idea of you whether we are going to get some other book soon or are you in progress. So that would be idea. So and there was one point in the book where you mentioned about some chip being implanted. I am not going to give more context so that I don't want to be a spoiler person. But so there was this. Do you think if we had that in um, real human world, how interesting it would be?
Yeah, it could be interesting, but it could be disastrous also, I feel. I think Elon Musk has a startup itself. I think he does all kinds of these things, and he has also successfully implemented. Like I have narrated an exaggerated version of it, but to some level, it has already been implemented, I feel. And the way the reactions are coming are also good. But I also am a firm believer that if it goes on and we do not stop, like I did it in the book itself, if we do not stop after a particular point in our exploration of AI and other things, then it could go south as well. But yeah, I mean, it's we cannot comment on it until it unfolds before us.
Mhm. I agree totally. So, now that your book is out and your near and close people, near people must have read it. So, how are their reactions and how were you feeling when you first, like the first printout that came in with the cover, and even the cover is so interesting. So, what was all the reactions and how was it?
Yeah, I mean, everyone was happy. And like some of the people read the book completely. And like they told me that we don't feel that as if this is a debut novel of an amateur author. So, like, they did not expect the story to flow smoothly. So that was a positive reaction for me, and I was like, no, I have only written it. Some of them were saying this is not written by you. We do not feel that you can write this smoothly. So that was good. Some of them liked the book, they like the way the imagination flows in the book. And yeah, I also got some of the critical reviews as well. So like one of my colleague read the book, and she loved the entire plot. And at the end of the day, she was like, Kautilya should be mad at the aliens because they tried to leverage him by threatening the entire world and all those things. But he is not mad at them. And then I was only like, he loved them. He loved the concept of aliens and he was interacting. So yeah, but the overall reaction is good. I feel good about it. People are liking it.
Yeah. It is interesting. I mean, for me, as a first time sci-fi reader, it was overwhelming. It was, "Oh, what is this? How do I understand this?" Then it was, oh, this is what it means. So there is a lot of emotions in that, and it's really good. And I'm like totally intrigued by the cover because it's in modern city, and there's the UFO, and it's totally real. So they great job with that. Whosoever did it, it was like totally what I would say, resonating with the whatever you were trying to describe in your story and the novel. So yep, it was interesting.
And
And okay, so we do have many sci-fi readers out there. And what one message would you want to give them?
I mean, I personally have not read a lot of sci-fi. Uh, so whatever I wrote in my book was my imagination and the things which I have learned from reading and following stuff. So if there is a sci-fi reader who reads sci-fi on a regular basis, then I think I would really love for such people to read my book and let me know how did they like it or where I could have done better. And yeah, I mean that would be good for me if they could review it. And if someone who is not a sci-fi reader, then I feel maybe you can pick this up and see how it goes.
Yeah, totally agree. Because people, as I said earlier, people are scared of science sometimes, and because they know that they were not able to understand in 10th and 12th, and they don't want to understand it how book goes. But yeah, it's the matter of picking up the book, and you know, I think first one fourth or one third of the book really needs to be read so that because everything is building. Because I see all the characterization is happening, the development is happening. So, oh, it was interesting. I mean, I do have one question, but you did already answer it. Whether we are expecting any sequel or prequel, but yeah, you didn't mention about it. Any message, anything you want to share with the audience about your book or anything?
Yeah, I mean, for the people who bought my book and read it, they spent their time reading it. I am really grateful to you guys because when I was writing this, I never expected, as I told, that it would one day get published and it would be out for sale. And people who bought it, the ones who know me, even the ones who do not know me on personal level, but yet they uh, bought the book. I am very grateful to you guys, and I really hope that you would review it and put your thoughts on. I don't know anywhere where you could review it. And yeah, regarding writing any prequel or sequel, I do have some plans, but they are not really related to sci-fi. And I am not committing to any one of them yet because there are some other things which are going on right now. So once I get time, I would really keep writing stuff and see how it.
Yeah, that's really interesting talk with you. And um, that's all I had to ask. And it was a really nice session with you. And I hope you enjoyed all the questions that I asked. And I mean, there is a whole lot of fiction that I have in my head. It's just that not coming out yet. So maybe I'll drop math in what was happening here, why was this, and I read keep over to some answers. And it on Amazon. I did a sneak peek, and I was overwhelmed with it, and it was so positive and so good. And yep, I think it boasts the author's confidence. That what I believe.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I'm also very grateful to you actually for reading the book and having this session with me. So I'm really thankful to you. So thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I mean, I am open to all the genres that I'm reading. And when book nerds came to me telling me that this is one book, if you want to explore it, we can send it to you. You can have a look, read it. I was reading, and then they asked me if you wanna have a session with the author. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I do have the period check him out and that in the questions. I mean, though I would agree that I just finished the book last night, I was really scared that I have to get the book done so that it's very because then the session is very understandable and very personal. Feels personal that okay, I have read the book and then we are having the session. So, good mistake for me as well. And I would say thanks to the book nuts as well, Rag and Neha, because they have always supported. They have always been encouraging. Read this book, read that book, and because of them, I've read so many so different genres. So yeah, it's good. And yeah, because of them, I got to know your book and you. So that was interesting too. Yeah, I did. You can see my bookshelf. It's just filling. I think I need to get a new one. So yeah, really, really looking forward. I'm going to pick the very next book whenever it's published. So really looking forward to new books. So yeah, I think that's all. And thank you for your time. It was
Yeah.
great.
And one last thing, like even I want to thank the book nerds and for everything they have done for me. Like I am extremely grateful to them. The way they have helped me with this book, I never imagined before. So I'm really grateful and thankful to them. Thank you.